Yes, sir.
There will be no challenge today
No, yeah, exactly.
because the powers will be stripped away after this episode.
Yeah,
Y'all about to get the Paul Mooney face a lot today.
the Jabari tribe.
Oh. I should have walked in on the show eating a
with
carrot. Just be like,
carrot, exactly.
I don't care about this. I don't care about this. Whatever. We should have killed him. We should have really had it. Oh, father.
We should have killed the fish man.
Winston Duke is underappreciated. That cat. We should have. He got punched. He was like, "Okay, wait, hold on a second. We should have. Hold on. My chest hurts. Hold on." He looked. He was like, "Woo." I aspire to Winston Duke's thighs. I aspire to have thighs like that. I want to wear thighs like that and little ass shorts. Thirst trapping y'all. Oh snap! We live. Oh, I didn't realize that. My fault. I mean, I'm gonna say stuff anyway, folks. You want to head this one? Because today this is a Michael Williams production right here. This man is at the helm. I am fancy free and full. You will not see me hitting any buttons today.
Welcome to a special edition of Fandom Initiative. I am one half of the Fandom Initiative, Mr. Michael Williams, Cinema CEO, and my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, the dark star, nevermore, the hungry glee.
Coming out of the purple corner, weighing in at none of your damn business. Hailing from your mama's kitchen.
Exactly.
Control. All right. Fight and sleep, y'all. I haven't had any pie yet.
Yes. How are you, brother? Besides the pie that's waiting for you, staring at you in the corner over there.
That pie's calling my name through the doors. What you doing over there? You doing a show? Oh, all right. Yeah. I mean, you could eat us while you on there, right? I mean, you hands free, right? Anyway, I'm doing well, sir. It is a wonderful day. Weather was beautiful. Very sunny out.
Yes, sir.
Awesome day. Took a wonderful walk. Got a couple of sales that weren't intended, but it's cool.
Okay.
Today's my mother's birthday, so
nice.
It's a good day, man. It's a good day.
Happy birthday, Miss Palmaris.
Thank you, sir. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Past couple of days were good, although I had to work on Thanksgiving night, but it was all right.
Oof.
Not bad.
Been there.
Banked a little cash. It wasn't terrible. Yeah, but no, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, we got to talk about this.
You want to get into this because this is going to be an interesting show, folks. Because it's safe to say that Antonio and I both love this movie, but we also have feelings about people who were basically shitting on it from the very beginning and said that this movie shouldn't happen the way that it happened, and they were all wrong. Trust me, they were all wrong. So we're going to get into it for real. So
first off, I do want to say there will be spoilers, obviously.
Yes.
Because we're going to be talking about Black Panther: World of Wakanda in its entirety. We will be speaking about, pretty much everything that happened in the movie. So there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen it, we appreciate you watching. You know what you do? Keep us running and turn the volume down.
Yeah, exactly.
Walk away.
Exactly.
Go do dishes, go eat the pie, go play canasta, whatever the people play.
Just take screen. Yeah.
What type of old ass man am I to say canasta? Like I live in Florida, like Boca Raton. Why would I say canasta? Whatever. But yes, we will be talking spoilers, and I'm going to be honest with you, folks. I'm going to do my best to not use profanity.
Take
Because-
screenshots of our reactions so that you'll get some context
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. Take some screenshots and then share those all over social media, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm already Word. So damn dumb. How do you?
Oh my god.
Okay. So, World of Wakanda. Obviously, this is a sequel to Black Panther, and the elephant in the room,
yes,
is the fact that our king T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, has passed.
Yes,
he passed. What was about
2 years, 3 years ago now.
Yeah,
he passed. He passed in the beginning part of the pandemic. So that was 2020.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it. So that was the elephant in the room of this movie. So everybody was wondering, are they going to recast? Should they recast? Who will they cast? What will be the story? What's going on? So that was the biggest thing. I remember when we were still doing a strange event. If you know, folks. You know I'm good with the words. And the question was being asked, who should they recast? Who will they recast? You all know I'm not really for the BS. I don't care. I just don't. I said we're not even going to discuss this. The man hasn't even been put into the ground yet or anything. We're not discussing this. Absolutely not. No. No.
Yeah.
No, we're not. So the event comes. Everyone's still wondering. Everybody's still waiting. Are they going to recast? Are they going to recast? They chose not to recast.
Yes.
So in the beginning of the movie, we see that T'Challa is very sick. We don't see T'Challa himself, but everything around is happening. Shuri is trying to find some way to heal him. The heart-shaped herb, because there's no more heart-shaped herb. So he doesn't have that healing there. Or something that can help him heal more, like giving him a second dose of the heart-shaped herb. And then he passes.
Yes.
It's not ambiguous. It's not a smoke and mirrors. T'Challa passed. The theater was quiet, man.
Yeah.
Rocher.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there in that very opening scene, right?
Right in the beginning, they tell you, no.
Yeah.
No.
Not only that.
Don't theorize anything, no.
Yeah, not only that. The opening scene introduces a very interesting sort of argument, right? That kind of continues throughout the whole movie. This whole idea of science versus faith, right? Because she is literally, in the beginning of the movie, it's a black screen, but you hear Shuri basically praying to Bast that if you spare my brother, you know what I mean? If you spare him, I will never question anything about you going forward. And I mean, that's deep, right? Like, that whole scene is deep. Like, you see, like, the whole panic on Shuri's face and just trying to figure out a way to save T'Challa, and it's interesting. Like, I'm not going to compare the acting in the same way, but I'm going to compare, like, the tone of the scene and things like that to something else that you and I have discussed before. And it was one of the favorite things one of the favorite scenes that I've seen in Endgame too. When I talk about how after everything happens at the beginning of the movie and we sit there and we see Natasha holed up in Avengers compound looking like hell, like she hasn't left the place at all, still trying to figure out a way to reverse everything. You know what I mean? Even if no one else is listening to her. Like, it's that opening scene in Wakanda Forever is just very powerful, and it's even more powerful when they play the Marvel opening, which I think is the first time that most people have seen that opening in a theater, because that was shortly changed after he passed initially, and it was basically only on Disney Plus for a very long time.
Yeah, they even I want to say that was when they put it on ABC. After he passed, they had that opening as well, which was unusual because you don't see any of the Marvel movies play on ABC. They play on TNT.
Yes.
So to see that, and they made sure that it was, I think there was some type of special before or after it also.
Yeah,
about Chadwick.
Yeah, I think it was
so
2020.
They made a point.
Yeah.
Of that, which, I mean, say what you want to say, whatever. Yeah. Oh, well, they recast with whoever else. Chadwick meant something real.
Yeah, he meant something real to everybody, not just the people he acted with, but clearly executives too, right? Like, again, I mean, Disney is a moneymaker, right? Let's be honest. Their job is to make profit, right? Mm-hmm. But they clearly could have said, we don't care. We're going to recast. Not when you not when you hire someone of Chadwick's ilk, right? Where he just there are very few times that studios get it right, like from the jump, from the get-go. And I like to think that Disney believed so much that they had gotten it right by casting Chadwick Boseman. They were like, no, like we just can't do this. Like, we cannot just bring someone else in here and ask him to be T'Challa just to continue a storyline, because it creates this whole situation of undue pressure on the next actor who comes into it, right? What if he bombs? What if he's not anything like what we want? You know what I mean? It's just kind of like...
And it's already big shoes to fill. They're huge shoes to fill, honestly. Yeah. And let's be real. Black Panther made money that they didn't know were going to make money. So they said, oh, wait, these Negroes are watching these movies. Let's be real. Let's cut the BS. These Negroes are watching these movies. They coming in dressed up.
Yes.
They coming in the garb. Like they hit that cat on West 5th. And he was like, he got the dashikis in the bag. He like got the freshness. I got the freshness for you. Like what you I got the all white, because they can do the funeral scenes. I got the all white.
I hear you, brother.
So they knew. So they were like, look, if we recast and it's wrong, they're gonna burn these mothers down.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not gonna burn stuff down because of that. But for real, we're not gonna go see that because we're like, and bet they'll say that's not our king. So if you don't get the right cat coming in there, like this ain't Rhodes where you can recast. Also, no one passed in that instance. No one died, but they look nothing alike.
Nope.
One light skin, one got hair, one, the hairline is, is on the next flight out. Let's be real. I love Don Cheadle, but brother, I'm there with you. Solidarity. But that's what you have. That's an iconic role now. And we love Chadwick, and we still watch the videos of him when he's at the press conferences and everything, and we saw what he went through, and we saw that something may not have been right. We didn't know what was going on, but we didn't ask because it's not our business.
Yeah.
And we lost that. So if they had recast and it had been wrong, because who were they going to get? Honestly, who?
I can't think of anybody who would be able to play it the way that Chadwick played it.
And this is why when people would ask that, I would say, oh, well, this actor is cool, what have you, what have you. But there's nobody who would have embodied that essence that Chadwick did. And that's no offense to those actors.
And it's not just the acting that Chadwick did, right? It's the things that he insisted upon being part of this project, like getting little things correct, like the dialect in Wakanda, how it needed to sound and how things needed to look. And all sorts of things, like you can't, you just can't do it. You cannot do it. You're asking somebody to come in here, like you said, like Antonio says, to fill these massive shoes. And if one thing is off, just one thing, it doesn't even take everything being off. One thing is off, the whole thing is not how we felt the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
It just isn't. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And just I mean, from that beginning part of the movie is just about everything that I could have hoped it would be, right? Like, it's this love letter to Chadwick. It honors Chadwick. It honors his legacy, but it also serves as this, like, and that's why I titled this episode what I titled it, Wakandan Catharsis, because it's a way for us to have catharsis about him not being in this world anymore. You know what I mean? And very few films are able to pull this off. And Ryan Coogler does something here that I could argue that he could easily win an Oscar for this. Like, it's just how he honors everything and how he allows his fellow co-stars to kind of pour that grief into the film and make this film what it is. Man, dude. I'm still in amazement about how good this movie is. Like, it's better than I thought it could possibly be, and that's crazy. You know what I mean?
I had no expectations because I knew it was going to be good. Yeah. I knew it was going to be something that was going to hit, because they were not going to let this movie just be a sequel or what have you. They knew that they had to come with it and to give every bit of love and happiness and sadness and whatever, everything that they felt for Chadwick and everything that they went through with Chadwick. They knew that they were going to put this in there.
Yeah.
They were not going to do this because, in truth, and I'm going to be honest with you, from the way that I saw when I looked at the videos of the cast and how they were acting to each other and in the film, what have you, it wasn't just a crew, it was a family.
Yeah.
And they lost a part of that family. So those scenes were real to me. That was them mourning him again.
Yes.
Years later, mourning them again and allowing us to be a part of that grieving, allowing us to grieve with them.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was very cathartic. And when we go through that, we're seeing everything through Shuri's eyes.
Yes.
Because she was trying so hard to save him. And to not be able to save your family member, your brother.
Yeah.
With all the technology, with Bast, with everything, and you couldn't save him. The amount of weight on Shuri's shoulders is palatable. You can feel it. In the back of your throat, you feel it. And yeah, you hit. And the movie ends up becoming, this movie mirrors Black Panther, the first Black Panther movie, so wonderfully in the journey to become the Black Panther and the mantle. Just like the first movie was basically the challenge. It was the whole challenge. This was a different challenge, a more deadly challenge even.
Yeah.
Because you have a nation that rivals yours, that mirrors yours.
Yes.
That has your incredible, your biggest commodity, your strongest resource, vibranium. And the Queen said the best. She was like, this changes everything that we've ever thought.
Yeah.
That there's vibranium down there. And we get this whole other world. And it was amazing the way they brought this character to life of Namor. Which I love the new pronunciation of it for the MCU. Now, in the comics, it will still be Namor, but y'all gonna say Namor. I ain't gonna be mad at you. I ain't gonna be mad at you. Namor. And when they talk about his backstory and how old he is. And he himself they almost had their own heart-shaped herb version of it.
Thank you,
and
brother.
then for a child to be born with it, and we get the first time we've heard the word. We hear the word explicitly. It's not a different conjugation of it. It's this word, mutant. It's not mutation.
It's good to know that I wasn't the only one who kind of noticed that.
No.
That flower reminded me very much of the heart-shaped herb.
It was their heart-shaped herb.
Yeah.
It could even possibly be in the same family, the same. Let me see if I can dust off some science. Binomial nomenclature.
Yeah. Or genus.
I'm kind of a scientist myself. I don't know. Thank you, Willem. But yeah, to have that, and then to have these two warring factions going at it. At first, not so much. You see a great connection between Namor and Shuri, and her seeing his world, and hearing of his story, and the Kukulakan, and the mural. So I want that tattooed on my back. I want that tattooed on my back, straight. Look, I'll sit there the whole time, just run that needle. I thought it was so beautiful, and it's just seeing I've talked about this numerous times. It's on record. I've said it on air. I've said it on social media. I wanted Namor. They didn't give me Namor. They gave me Namor. And I was like, it's not the Namor that you know in a lot of different ways, not just the heritage, but also not as brash, not as overbearing and arrogant. But there is a simmering arrogance there because you can see him.
Yeah.
You know how arrogant you got to be to have wings on your ankles and flying like
what?
Just looking at people like
what? Exactly.
And just
and there's also a charm to Namor that is just oozing. You know what I mean?
But that's the essence of Namor. Whether it's Namor or Namor, he in the comics he's more arrogant and cocky, and because he's this incredibly strong and handsome at everything man, and he knows it. And he also is very powerful, and he rules most of the world. Let's be honest. The world is covered with water. The world is mostly water, and he rules that himself. So shout out to Tinoch Huerta. Guest, dude. As I like to say, welcome to the MCU, man.
Oh yes,
outstanding, brother, outstanding. I need to see this cat in more stuff.
And brilliant that they decided to do something like an unknown. Like that's what you have to do in something like that, right? You got to give somebody a chance to show us what they can bring to it. Like you could have easily put a number of people into that role, but it just doesn't. I don't feel like it would have rang as true as it is when it's somebody who's fresh and brings a different approach to it.
Yeah, and I think having a new character, having a new character added to the MCU, I should say.
Yeah,
you need that fresh new person, someone who hasn't been on the radar at that level. This brings him up to that level, and I love it.
Yeah,
a lot of brown, a lot of black in this movie, a little bit of white. There's a couple of drops of milk in that cup. That was it.
Yep.
But it just awesome. Loved the oh god, yeah, man. It's just and I'm not a swimmer. But I love stories of mer people and mer people of color, because that's happened within the last few years. You've seen more stories about mer people of color, where before you'd only see white, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, think about the stories about the slaves who, like any story like that, who would rather jump into the ocean than be a slave. What if mer people came and got them, and they began to just cohabitating and entanglement in the oceans, good sir. The ocean entanglements, entangle in the ocean. Because sometimes I like to tie somebody up with some seaweed. I'm saying, look,
right.
It's just my king. All right, cool, bet. Whatever, snobs. Put your noses up at me, whatever. So
Oh
seeing
my
that is beautiful, and I mean, we got Namor, we got Riri Williams, aka
Oh yeah.
Ironheart.
Yes.
Oh my god. We also got Contessa, who I was not expecting in the movie, who's going to
Mhm,
be who's a big high muckety muck,
mhm.
and then we find out that her and Everett were married.
Yes.
Some people didn't like these scenes with them. They felt that it kind of broke up the pace,
Yeah.
which I understand.
But
I think
yeah.
that these were moments where you could go to the bathroom.
But I know I kind of know why it's there.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
I
it
can't
has
I
to be
can't
there.
yeah, but there's something that I know that I can't reveal here that I kind of know why that's there.
But those have to be there
Mm,
because it's not just a part of the story that's
hmm
there. Even if
hmm
it's on it, it's something that's building for later on.
Yes.
We know Marvel does this. So if you're mad
Yes.
about this and you're constantly complaining about this, stop watching Marvel movies because every Marvel movie's done it. So just shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just shut up. Just please stop. Just be a nice person. Okay? Eat a bowl of cereal and shut up, please.
I hear you, bro. Yeah.
What were your thoughts on Riri? Excuse me.
Loved it. Loved the way they introduced her. Um, I I like that realized armor in the beginning, and even towards even the final armor that we got at the end
The final for this movie.
for this. Well, yes, for this movie,
For
yes,
this
because
movie.
I forget, I forget. You know, well, we love to make vital improvements as we go along. Um, yeah, it was better conceived than I thought it could be, and look on screen, it looks amazing.
It's awesome. I'm a fan
Mm,
of Riri Williams. Um, for those of you who don't know, Riri Williams, aka Ironheart,
mhm,
for a while she took over in the comics. I want to say Invincible Iron Man. She took over
mhm,
for Iron Man. She took
yeah,
over that comic for a while when I believe Tony Stark was believed to be dead. I want to
mhm,
say.
mhm,
She ended up getting her own series written by Eve Ewing. Thank you very
mhm,
much, Eve. Awesome writer. Absolutely love it. Riri became a part of the Champions, along with Miles Morales, and so she's one of those legacy characters. So we're getting another young hero in the
mhm,
legacy mold
mhm.
for something in the future. Now, I believe Riri was or is set to have a series on Disney
She's
Plus.
getting a she's getting a series on Disney Plus. Yep.
Now, I don't know if this is because of Chadwick's passing, if she was slated to begin with to be a part of Black Panther World of Wakanda Forever. I don't know if she was slated for that or
Mhm.
if that was an audible that they called. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember it necessarily being an audible. I think that she was supposed to be in it regardless
Okay.
before they were talking, even before they had to change it per se.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I didn't. Again, this is a character I did not think I would see
Mhm.
in a movie, or if it was going to be a movie, I thought that it would be something more like one of the Avengers movies or something like that,
Mm, mm.
or something Avenger adjacent. Let's say
Yes.
since we don't necessarily have quote unquote Avengers right now because there's the team is not there really.
Mhm.
Um, so I was extremely happy to have this character there. I love the fact that again mirroring.
Mhm.
Shuri is the elder statesperson now.
Mhm.
Riri is smart, brilliant. I
Mhm.
mean, she's at MIT.
Mhm.
So to have this young black girl being approached by Shuri, and even the way she does it, it reminded me of Coming to America.
Mm.
When Hakeem is standing at the
Mhm.
bathroom
Mhm.
and what's the brother's name? Vondi Curtis Hall.
Yes.
sees him and goes, oh my God, Hakeem, Prince Hakeem. That's what she was like. She was like, oh, Princess Shuri. Like the way she said it, I loved it because it was like, why are you here? Why are you after me?
Yeah.
And this genius who comes up with a way to detect vibranium. And who was able and to use it underwater. I just thought that was a really incredible thing. And to go into try to recruit her and to bring her back there's that kind of, you did all this with just spare parts. What can you do with this lab? What you can do with the tech that we have here in Wakanda, because we're ahead of everyone else. I thought she was great. Some people didn't like the fact that her humor seemed to be awkward.
I didn't have a problem with that. Like,
I didn't either. Here's the reason why I didn't have a problem with it.
I didn't have a problem with that.
She's nervous. She
Yes,
shows she's nervous.
Very much so.
When you're nervous, sometimes certain people make jokes.
Yes.
They're not all going to be hit or miss.
Yeah.
So I think people were saying that, oh, I'm not sure. I'm like, that's what it is. And I don't mind that she might be a side peripheral character right now. She's still going to play an important role in this movie, but side peripheral character, because you know why? Again, this is building up to something bigger. So she's going to have it. This isn't her story. This is Shuri's story. Shuri's including her in this because she wants to protect her and find out what's going on. And also, like, how were you able to figure this out? But then also, she starts realizing, hey, we've got this lab, this tech, everything. Why don't you see what you can do here?
Yeah.
Can you build another? And going through like that. This wasn't her story.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because we know we're going to get Riri's story later on down the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Problem with that. So yeah, it was very. The actress's name is
Dominic Thorne.
Thank you, Dominic Thorne. I'm trying to think of where I know her from. Where do I know Dominic Thorne from? I'm trying to think. I watch so many damn things nowadays. So I know I've seen her in about 1,000. Excuse me, not 1,000. I know I've seen her in other things.
You know her from, if you saw that movie, and I'm sure you did, because I recommended it to you.
Probably did.
If Beale Street Could Talk.
Oh yes, thank you. Okay, yes, thank you. Yes. And she just did a phenomenal job, and I can't wait to see more of her.
And she was also in that other movie too, the other big movie, Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes. So yeah, she's knocked out of the park, and that's a big role too. That's a big movie to bring her in for this.
Oh yeah, easily.
So yeah, I mean, you're gonna get So and we get this movie where it focuses more on the term that I think they should have used for their series that they do on Disney Plus. We get to see the world of Wakanda. We get to see what's been going on since King T'Challa's death. And we see that Nakia has gone to Haiti. We have the Dora Milaje is just one of the most incredible things ever. We get to see, here it is, the king that y'all love so much, that y'all say, we get to see, because the thing about King T'Challa but people really don't talk about is the fact of how much he is supported and loved by his people, how much he is supported and loved by Black women. His mother, Shuri, the Dora Milaje, Nakia, all of them. If you can even say that truthfully, in Black Panther, it was King T'Challa and these Black women, because when he was presumed dead in the first movie, they were the ones that rescued him. They were the ones that found him. They were the ones that brought him to the Jabari tribe. And now in this movie, they take stage, they take the center, they take the spotlight, and they show you what they're doing in Wakanda, how they're running it. Dora Milaje's up front. Queen of Ramona's up front. Shuri is up front. Nakia's in Haiti, Lupita, girl, and Coogler. You ain't slick, Coogler. I peeped you. I peeped you doing this, Coogler. Why did you focus on that thing? You ain't slick, Coogler. Because I was sitting in the theater and I was eating popcorn. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what? The CG in this movie is amazing, isn't it? It's amazing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, this is that must have been where most of the budget went. Why? Where'd that? I didn't know that thing was thangin'. I didn't know if she had to do special workouts because of what came later in the movie, and they had to show that that's what happens.
Yeah. That thing was thangin'.
That thing was thangin' for no thang reason. That girl.
But listen, not only was that thing thangin', this movie allowed her to use her other native tongue.
Yes.
Which is Spanish.
Yes. Which a lot of people don't know.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Which I love. The languages in this movie. Black Panther was beautiful because we're hearing them speak Wakandan, and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. But in this movie, we're hearing the patois.
Mm-hmm.
We're hearing the Wakandan. We're hearing English. We're hearing Spanish, and we're also hearing oh god, it's
it's just a dude.
The way they mix everything together, because you're hearing the Spanish and you hear you speaking Spanish up underwater. You's a bad mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut my damn mouth. Shut my mouth. But that thing be thanging with the thing, and you's a bad. All right.
Yeah, it's just an amazing film. Like, just oh my god. Like, let me talk about Angela Bassett for a minute, because
go ahead.
This movie almost feels like Ryan Coogler basically handed her the script and was like, remind them of how good you are, Angela. Because they forgot how really good you are. you know what I mean? And that scene, the first scene that is incredible, and just how literally she is in command of the room. Other people think they are, but she is in command of the room, is when she's talking to the assembly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
In the scene, and also in character. She's owning the room twice.
Yes. So even right there, she's amazing. But the other scene that really shows you how good Angela Bassett has been as an actress for years now, and should have a piece of hardware that says that she's this good.
Thank you.
And she doesn't. Is the scene where she dresses down Okoye for losing Shuri.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
hurt.
Oh my god, that scene is almost, again, I'm not comparing this movie to Endgame at all. They're two different movies. Two different range of emotions being explored there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this scene is better, but that scene is almost the equivalent of Tony dressing down Cap when he comes back to Earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she literally, every word. I mean, I'm almost standing beside Okoye, crying along with her.
Yeah.
With every word that she's giving her.
You got your head down like she's talking to you. You like,
yes, it's literally cutting Okoye. Every word. You know what I mean? That scene is amazing too.
That's the scene that everybody talks about. They say that how that felt, and you can see both sides. Mm-hmm. You can see she didn't lose her on purpose. She did everything she can. She's only one person, but to strip her of being a general, of being in the Dora Milaje, she knew that would be the thing that would hurt her the most. That would that would, because she's always been that, even when she sided with Killmonger because it was for the throne, and the Dora Milaje have that that principle, that duty.
Mm-hmm.
Bassett, I mean, she killed it in this movie.
Absolutely.
People have been saying she needed a nomination for this movie.
Oh yeah,
It was that, and
yeah.
someone else that this should be nominated for best movie,
Mm-hmm.
best actress.
Mm-hmm.
They could say supporting actress.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, she needs a nomination.
Easily.
Her
Easily.
scenes were so palpable.
Yeah.
You could feel it, every bit of it, and you felt her pain and why she was saying what she said. You weren't mad at her for saying it, but you knew that she was hurting so much.
Yeah, and even the scene when she first meets Namor in the bush at night, holding her own against this guy that she has no idea who this person is, and like, why are you here? Why are you in my country?
Yes,
you know what I mean, like. Man.
And then to have, all that, and to have her. Now this is where I messed up. I said, look, I'm not going to drink a lot. I'm not. But y'all know that thing be thangin'. And I had popcorn and I had my iced tea and I was drinking. I was like, I went to the bathroom at the wrong time. I got up, came back. Everybody was like, oh, and I was like, what the fuck? What? I guess I did just curse. And I was like, what? She had died. I said, oh, bro. I said, what? I sat down. I was like, come on, man. Can y'all rewind that? Yeah. And she had died.
Yeah.
Because I went when he was tapping on the glass. Namor. And when I missed that, I was like, oh man, I know it's gonna just get crazy. And we see this war. And there's a classic conflict now in the Marvel comics of Atlantis and Wakanda. And they've brought that to the movie with this updated version of Atlantis, with Namor and Namorita. It's seeing the devastation that can happen. It hurts. You read it in the comics and it hurts. It hurts a lot. But when you see it on screen and you know everything else that has happened to them, and you've already got the pain from losing King T'Challa, Chadwick, that pain.
Yeah.
And it's so real and so palpable, and it sets up the fight. And before that, we get Shuri goes to the astral plane, the ancestral plane, and who shows up? My man,
the greatest cameo that was held close to the vest that I've ever seen, because nobody knew that this guy was coming back. Nobody knew. It didn't even leak.
Well, it was somewhere. I remember seeing that it was said that he was like that. There might be something with him, but nobody knew how. They didn't know how he was going to be coming back. Nobody thought it was going to be like this, which is another confirmation.
Yeah.
But nobody knew that it was going to be. He was the biggest thing I heard was, oh, so your dreads just be growing in the ancestral plane? Like, how are they longer? Like, that don't make no sense. And I saw it and I was like, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But in Wakanda also, death is not the end.
Exactly.
Of your lock journey, I guess.
So. Apparently so.
Okay. But yeah, that was probably, I want to say it rivals Red Skull.
Yeah.
Again, another because Endgame and Wakanda Forever, again, those two mirror. This movie was a set of mirrors where it mirrored other MCU movies, and that was, I don't know which one was better. I'm thinking it might be Killmonger, but nobody was expecting Red Skull to be on Vormir.
Yeah,
you saw him and he was like, I thought Hugo said he didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
He said he was done. And the talk between Killmonger and Shuri, and he was like, and she's like, why am I seeing you? Because you figured that she would see T'Challa or she would see her father, T'Chaka.
Mhm.
No, she sees him, and you realize why.
Yeah.
The vengeance aspect, the revenge aspect,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
anger,
Mhm.
which again, but she's going through all, and you see her going through all the stages of grief during this movie.
Mhm.
You see her going through every stage of grief.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was, kind of the embodiment of it. Because when she was like, trying to bargain, if you make this happen, I will pray, I would everything have you.
Mhm.
But that's
Mhm.
the beautiful thing about Wakanda also too, is that it is a wonderful blend of
Science and faith.
science and faith. It
Yeah.
is.
Absolutely.
Because in this world they're both real.
Mhm.
That not saying that one isn't real here, but
Mhm.
just how it's manifested. Like you can
Yes.
actually see a God standing before you.
Yes.
Where here, it's much more about your faith
Yes.
of seeing them. Where there, you could literally see Bast, and we did in Moon Knight. We literally saw Bast.
Mhm.
So that was beautiful, and it's just seeing Shuri go through all the stages, step by step, and everyone else is going through it too. But yeah, just
And also,
Letitia Wright
yeah.
needs some credit
Oh
for.
my God.
I know people have said whatever they want to say.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing someone could say. Let's be real. We've had a
Yes.
lot of things,
Yeah.
and the way they kind of defamed her and such. But she really did it in this, and how she portrayed
Mhm.
this person who is, in all honesty, the lead.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
some of y'all mad about that, and I'm gonna talk about it in a minute.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like the whole ancestral plane scene is just amazing. It's amazing how it's done. Like, you know, when she gets there, she's underwater, and then when she comes up, she's like dry.
Yes.
And then the whole thing where she, you know, challenges Killmonger and says, you're the reason why this is the way it is because you burned all the heart-shaped herb. I couldn't save my brother, blah, blah, blah. But he challenges her. He says, you are more like me than you think, more than you want to admit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And what I also loved about that is that obviously she never tells anyone that she sees Killmonger. Although I think Nakia in some ways has an idea that she saw something that was unsettling in
Yeah,
the
because she
ancestral
won't tell her.
plane.
Because she won't tell her who she saw. She refused to tell her.
Yes. I love the fact that she really doesn't confirm it at all to anyone
Mm-hmm.
outside of herself. Right? Like in other movies probably would have had her tell somebody like at the very end, this is who I
Yeah.
saw. I'm glad that she didn't. Because in some ways, you do understand why Shuri feels the way that she feels. She kind of feels ashamed that here's this guy who almost single-handedly brought down the whole country and almost changed the trajectory of Wakanda.
And did.
And did.
As he did.
Is the guy who I, for the most part, at least for this movie, a good part of this movie, I identified with as far as what I wanted to do. Like when she talks about early on in the movie, she talks to Ramonda about, she wants the world to burn because her brother isn't in the world anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just so well done, dude. Like so well done. Like,
Yeah. Let's talk about the Dora Milaje.
oh,
Let's talk about
the
getting
Midnight
in.
Angels.
Let's talk about getting in Michaela Cole as
Oh my
Anika.
god. Oh my god. That was
I've
good.
been
I love that.
wanting the Midnight. If you don't know about the Midnight Angels is what Ayo and Anika were in Ta-Nehisi Coates, put your chairs down, folks. I'm just a messenger. Put your chairs down, please. I know it's a very polarizing run, but put your chairs down. Calm down.
Yes.
They were actually kicked out of the Dora Milaje because they were lovers. So they found they got these suits of armor, and they became the Midnight Angels, where they would actually save and protect oppressed women in Wakanda. If memory serves, it's been a long time since I read that run, or even the beginning of it. But it's in like the first couple of issues, and it's great. So we get them, and it's confirmed they're a couple. They love each other. They are a couple. So we have our first confirmed. I want to say it's our first confirmed lesbian couple. Michaela Cole, when she shows up as Anika in the scene that you're talking about with Shuri, when she's actually dressing down the UN, especially France. Look, I'm looking at you, France. You and your creamy sauces. I'm looking at you. Creamy sauce and baguettes. I'm looking at you. And you see that she comes up. You almost know it's her, or at least you know it's a Dora Milaje. But she comes up and shaved head. She can pull off a shaved head. If you haven't seen Black Earth on Netflix, check that out. That's a Vehicle Her. It's a limited series. I think it's like 8 episodes. And she got the shoulders. She got the shoulders, and she got the strongest shoulders, and the muscles. Everything is cool. And you see her, and she lays these mercenaries out that go to a Wakandan outreach post, who are looking for a vibranium. She lays them out along with the other Dora Milaje, and they wreck shop. I loved seeing the Dora Milaje being fleshed out more, and they've been little by little. Yeah, I almost fell. Don't worry about it. And I'm a grown ass man. I'm a professional, baby. I'm a professional. Don't ask me what's in the cup. Yeah. So it being fleshed out more and more since Civil War. We've seen them in Black Panther. We've seen a little bit of them in the End Game. We saw a bit more of them in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So they've been fleshed out more and more and more. And this movie, they definitely showcase them.
Yes.
We also get Florence Kasumba returns. She's really the first Dora Milaje that you see. That I want to say that you see, in Civil War. Where she steps toe to toe to Natasha Black Widow. And Chadwick is girl. He's like, as much as I would love to see this, only thing, because the way he looks is like, Nat, Nat, just walk off, Nat. You're not ready for this. You're not. I know you got your luchador moves, but you don't want none of this.
You don't want to do this here.
No. Do you want to keep your head? Then you would run. This is not for you. And to see them fleshed out more and more, and now to see them having these incredible roles and being shown as not just these women, as people, and also getting rid of what they started as in the comics as the adorned ones. If you know, you know, where they were supposed to be like his brides or his brides to be. So to see them fleshed out, to see them as these characters, to see them at home. To see them even having Deny. Deny is the epitome of cool.
Oh my God, yes.
I want to be her when I grow up, even though I might be older. I'm just out.
Yes.
She shows up at MIT with Shuri. They're in plain clothes. Well, Shuri's in plain clothes anyway. The fact that Okoye thinks that this is plain clothes is so. She's like that bougie auntie that show up. That like, who cooked this? I ain't eating that. Cats? Nah, I ain't going. She's that bougie auntie that shows up with the fine partner every year. Somebody different every year. Who is like, oh yeah, I just threw this on. She shows up to MIT, supposed to be plain clothes. And she's like, well, I'll be very conspicuous. And Shuri's like, what? If you see the outfit she has is something straight off of a like Europe fashion show type. It's some wild outfit. It's like Yeezy level wild. And and the sunglasses, and she's like, "This is discreet," and I'm like, "That's not discreet." But she gives this character, she can do this character, and this is an testament to her as well. She can do this character and have this incredible depth of character, be this fierce warrior, brave and bold, confident. She can have these incredibly painful and soul-rending moments, like when she was getting dressed down by Queen Ramonda. And then she can have these moments where she's incredibly funny, where Riri's saying, "Oh, that ash on top of your head," and she's like, "What ash? What is you? What?" And have it be funny because she was going at her, and having those moments. It just shows fleshing out of these characters that we've grown to love, and bit by bit, them becoming more and more and more.
Yeah,
where they can. The Dora Milaje just run it.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Those Dora Milaje are amazing. Like, I even love how they. I mean, all the costumes in this movie are amazing. But when you pay attention to how they costume the Dora Milaje, even when they're not necessarily in their battle garbs, like when they show up to the conference after they've disposed of the whole French trying to do the thing that they're doing on that outpost and bring them in. Like, it's almost, it's just like how, like, those costumes are so, like, regal and beautiful. Like, it's just like, man, dude, like, you know,
they were saying that that wardrobe should get an Oscar also, and that's what's the sister's name?
Is that Hannah Beachler? Is that
Thank you.
Yeah,
I want to say that's her name, and because this is the first movie was ridiculous, and we were like, "Yo, hold up."
Yeah,
this movie crushed it even more, and I love that.
Yeah,
because is beautiful. Every scene is just so it's beautiful. It's so intricately done. The clothing, and everything has meaning.
Yeah, there's no wasted motion in any scene. There's no wasted space in any scene. It's just like
there's not a thread out of place in anything, and it's incredible.
Coogler, and shout out to Ryan Coogler. Coogler is just on another level at this point in his career. It's just like, it's crazy. It's almost like Black Panther just like unlocked this whole nother dimension to his directing. That is just
I want to say Marvel gave him freedom.
Yeah,
these are the parameters.
Yeah,
stay within these parameters. Go. And the first movie, you're like, "Oh, wait, what? Hold on, this is." And now the second movie, you're like, "Okay." All I can say is this: Shang-Chi, your sequel, you better come as hard as you can with it, because we talked about this when the trailer for Shang-Chi came out. It had that Black Panther feel to it. You knew it was something different that was happening, and you were loving it. You go, and it had that same type of energy of it, and excitement of being able to see it.
Yeah,
I love that movie. I really enjoy the hell out of that movie. I have actually been thinking about watching it again because damn, and I've seen it I think 3 times now. Thank you, plus. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about watching it again. But it's got to come hard. It has to.
Yeah.
Because of how dope this one is, you have to. Black Panther, these movies now are on their own level for me. They're in their own class. I have my favorite MCU movies. These movies, the Black Panther movies, are in their own little area. That isn't even because they're so great. They're loved. They hit us emotionally in so many different ways, both movies and for different reasons. The acting is superb. Wardrobe, hair, and makeup. What? Yes. Yes. Give me all the threads. Give me every. What is the thread count on that shirt? It is ridiculous.
Yes.
And you love it, and everyone's heart is in these movies. They're putting their minds, their bodies, souls, their hearts, their blood, sweat, and tears into them. And in the second movie, a little more literally, unfortunately, with the tears.
Yeah.
And it just, yeah, it was. When you went to see the movie,
Yeah.
was the theater fairly packed? Was it full?
Yeah, it was fairly packed. It was almost full. Almost full. Yeah.
What what were the moments in the movie where there were big reactions from the people? Either they all gasped, they all clapped, because in my theater, I was surprised. They clapped at certain parts. I was like, that's how you know.
Yeah. Well, obviously, there was pin drop silence.
Yeah.
When we went to the Marvel opening, the basic silent, only you can hear the wind blowing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel opening,
where there's usually music playing during the opening.
Yes,
There was nothing, and
nothing.
It made it so much more poignant because you didn't want to hear that music, and they knew that, but it felt right to not have music during it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Cheers and clapping when Siri finally drops down as the Black Panther.
Yes.
Yep.
Another mirror also.
Yep.
Oh, and don't think I didn't notice, and nobody else talks about this. Black Adam. I saw in the trailer. I peeped that moment when Hawkman goes through the ship and he's like this. I peeped that when he drops down. I peeped that little Easter egg that you were playing towards that. And I'm not mad at you. I like that little silent tribute. Crossing streams. I feel you. All this. I see you, baby. I see you. I see you.
Yep. Let's see. There were actually some claps when Namor yields to Shuri.
Oh, and shout out to Joy Infinity. She is in the comments, lighting us up. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks for being with us, Joy.
Always.
Thank you.
One of the best streamers out there. Go check her out on Twitch.
Yeah. There were claps for the mid-credit scene. Yeah, those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. And I saw it 2 times, by the way. I saw it opening weekend, and then I saw it again today.
Okay.
And today's audience was a lot more melanated, for sure. And
we be waiting sometimes.
I know, and that's cool.
You know
that's cool. No problem with that.
You know what I'm saying? And also because they know that everybody's out shopping. They're like, look,
exactly.
You want toys or you want to watch the movie? Which one you want?
Exactly.
I can't afford both.
Yeah. So the claps were pretty much the same. The laughter was for Riri a lot.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people just kind of, identified with Riri in that situation, in a very, like you said, nervous situation. And yeah. What about you?
Obviously silence when T'Challa died, and then that, because I think they knew that we would all be quiet, and we didn't want it to be quiet, and then you have that dun, 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 like that music. No, that kills the whole mood. Laughter at Shuri going at Okoye, the head ash line. I was like, damn. I said, oh my god. She was mad too. She was like, what?
Yeah.
Claps for the Ironheart.
Oh yeah.
The second armor in the movie when she showed up with it, because people who didn't know. But people who knew, they knew, and they were like, yes. I think people who didn't even know were clapping because they were just happy to see that she had upgraded. And it was just so cool. Again, character we didn't think that we were going to see. Not anytime soon. Cheers and applause when Shuri touches down and she's wearing the suit. gasps when Killmonger showed up. Gasp when Killmonger showed up. And then when Shuri finally gets the formula right for this synthetic heart-shaped herb. Yep. And she's like, "God, nothing happened." And she throws something and it breaks. And she's like, "Oh." They started clapping. Then we knew it was confirmed. Dumbasses. Hold on. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there in a few minutes. I promise.
It's gonna be glorious when we get there.
I'm gonna get there. And then
be glorious when we get there, folks.
And then I think I heard moistness when Namor first showed up. I feel there was moisture. And possibly
there was a lot of shifting in chairs.
There was shifting in chairs. There was moisture. I think some people's shirts were. It might have been cold in the theater. I think the shirts. It was like, oh, it's cold in here. Is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. MCU's new heartthrob, Tinoch. Congratulations, man. Seriously, I mean, just in general, phenomenal role for you to jump into, and you did an amazing job of it. Honestly, you just smashed it. The fight scene was just seeing these two go at it. Both of them just wanting to protect their people and to not be bothered by the government, and just to, you know what I mean, but having that go back and forth was just beautiful. It was just, and then at the very, very end, after the battle and after everything is gone, and we find out why Nakia has been in Haiti. She had a son.
Yeah.
Her son's name is Toussaint. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I'm not getting paid to educate you. Google's your friend. Seriously, I'm not one of these people who's online. Well, I'll tell you what it means. Yeah, no, go look it up. Seriously. And he says, "Oh, well, my Haitian name is Toussaint." When you find that the after credit scene is, Shuri finally decides to burn the funeral garb, which is a tradition. After a year, so she burns the garb, and she's talking to Nakia, and then this boy walks up. You find out that's her son. Now you can pretty much figure out, you know, what have you, but you think his name is Toussaint, and he's like, "Well, can you keep it secret?" It's like, "Yeah, my Haitian name is Toussaint." I was like, "Oh, that's a great name. It's a very proud name." He's like, "Yes, but my Wakandan name is T'Challa." Wow, so I guess you guys were right. They did recast. Fuck you. Idiots, morons.
Yeah.
So now here's the thing that no one is saying. When when Shuri went to create more of the heart-shaped herb, she said, "Well, get me, reference of a heart-shaped herb. Get me T'Challa's DNA." Get me T'Challa's DNA to help create it. So if the heart-shaped herb in him became bonded with his DNA, and he had a son with Nakia, and he had the heart-shaped herb in him, when they was doing that thing, because that
thing was thinking, causing them to do that thing.
But was that thing always there, or did that thing come after the child? I'm like, because I was sitting there like, I'm like, yeah, I'll peep you, Cooler. There was no necessary reason for you to linger on that. I'm not mad, but I see you. You're not slick. And so Toussaint will have powers. Another mutant?
Could be.
Now, it's always been theorized that T'Challa would have a child with Storm. That's everybody's thing, what have you. And that their child would have powers. And it's always a mix of weather manipulation and something to do with the heart-shaped herb.
Mm-hmm.
But here, it's very interesting. So what happens when this boy, Toussaint, hits puberty?
Mm.
So did we just get another possible member for a young superhero team in Toussaint?
You did.
Or possibly future Avengers?
You did.
Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, so we're just gonna. Everybody heard that, right? She did say DNA, and I was sitting there and I was like, okay, slight little moments, breadcrumbs that'll lead to something bigger. That's MCU's cheat code. That's MCU's thing.
Yeah.
But that's what you do in comics as well. You do that storytelling, world building.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the revelation that he had a son with Nakia? That she's been in Haiti with this boy. And that Queen Ramonda knew.
Yeah.
And met the boy too.
I was on board with it. I loved it. You know what? Not only, like you said, not only does it serve as a cheat code, a Marvel MCU cheat code, right? It also serves as a counterpoint to the very beginning of the movie with something that Shuri says, and she says to Ramonda, like, Ramonda's like, you know, I spent time in the bush and I felt T'Challa put his hand on my back. Right? And Shuri, being the person of science that she is, and not necessarily of faith at that time, says, you know, it was nothing, mother. It was just, you know, your mind creating this construct to help you process your grief. And then the beauty of it is that after, you know, Shuri goes through all of this, and then she's introduced to this part of her brother's legacy that she doesn't know anything about. She hasn't known anything about it, right? She's the only one who doesn't really know. And now that she's introduced to him, in some ways that is faith tapping Shuri on the shoulder and saying, look, a piece of him still is here with all of you. And he made sure that would happen in case something happened to him. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful scene. It really is. And I know there were some people who left, and the first time I saw it, there was a few people in particular who left and thought it was one of the worst scenes they had ever seen. I'm like, you guys don't get it. Like, you don't get what happened there. You know what I mean?
And it's gonna pay off.
Yeah.
Later. Like you don't. There's no wasted motion with these series. They, even if it's not a banger like you might think it's gonna be, it's laying groundwork for something else.
Yeah, and not only that. And I know, and it's basically come out that was going to be the end credit scene regardless. That was what was there prior to them doing a rewrite. That was how that end credit scene was going to go. It's Marvel retroactively trolling everyone who wanted to recast. It basically is. Yeah, we'll recast it. Just not right now. It'll be way down the line.
Yeah. And like that was the thing. And I was like, I bet these idiots are going to be like, oh, well, technically they did actually recast. Exactly. Shut up. Did you wash your ass today? Shut up.
Exactly. I loved it.
It's
I love that
up
scene.
in me. It's bubbling up in me, and I know I got to let it out soon.
I love that scene though. I loved it. I loved every part of it.
It was really, I honestly loved it because I think aside from Tony, has anyone else had children since they've become a quote unquote superhero? Clint already had kids.
Yeah.
But has anybody
Yeah.
Well, I guess you could say Wanda, but that didn't end very well.
Yeah, not very well. No.
Too soon to talk about that. Really, kind of took a whole town in New Jersey hostage.
Exactly.
Glad it wasn't my town. Just saying, I don't want to live in a 50s sitcom. Just saying. Ain't no thanging in them 50s sitcom.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was two twin beds with a. It was two twin beds with a nightstand between them.
There was a lot of flat screens, but there was no yams. There was no yams going on in them 50s. There was a lot of flat screens. Yeah. A lot of wide flat screens, but there was no yams. You had to go to Haiti or Wakanda for the yams. Damn, Kugler, why you? Is that scene with like? Did you write that in, or was it like you call it audible? Why? You wild. All right, so let's get to the heart of the matter.
Yes.
Because self-destruction is served on a platter, and y'all self-destructed yourselves. Y'all
self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction.
And they was in there like Miss Melody was like, didn't I see you at the end of I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? Shout out to Miss Melody. All right. Jesus. I just don't have I honestly don't have the sperm count for these conversations anymore. Seriously, don't. just don't, man. Don't have the sperm count. Don't have the hair line. Just don't have the. Just don't have it. I mean, man, you're. All right. So the biggest problem that we had with this movie were the people talking mess before the movie even came out. Yes. When you realized that you were not going to get a recast of King T'Challa because of Chadwick's passing. Some people said, oh, well, you should just recast it. It's like any other role. Some people said, no, you can't because, that's very important. It's like iconic at this point. Some people got mad. Then when the trailer came out, Lord, y'all lost your tiny little minds, didn't you? You wonderful little, you wonderful little dandelions. You lost your tiny little minds over this. And you're like, oh, this is the emasculation. And also, spell it, idiot. Spell it. Don't use a word if you can't spell it. And they were just like, oh, you can't do this. They got to recast. Well, I'm sure in the next trailer they'll recast. And they didn't recast.
Yeah.
Y'all were mad. Now, I'm going to let Michael go first because I'm sure his is going to be much quicker than mine. And he's going to be kind. So I'll tell you what, you're going to get the carrot. Then you're going to get the friggin' oak tree. Then you get
the big stick, yes.
Then you're going to get the oak tree.
Yes.
The redwood, baby. Blackwood. Yes. So go ahead, Michael. You go ahead and say your thing.
Yeah. Simply put, everybody was wrong. Like all these people out here, all these pundits who think, oh, well, you can't. I mean, you know what? This reeks very much of a similar situation that we had in No Time to Die. Where everyone got up and they were like, oh, well, 007 can't be a woman.
A black woman.
A black woman at that.
It's not the English way.
Please.
We know.
Please. Like, I literally got into an argument with someone on Facebook about this.
That was your first problem.
And this was a brother. And this is what shocked me. Like, he's like, oh, well, why can't, his literal words were, why can't they just give her her own thing? What? Like, how stupid do you sound if you have daughters, dude? How stupid do you sound right now? You know what I mean? Like, and then there's this idea, and I know I'm on a diatribe here, but I'm just comparing how it's a similar situation where they get all caught up in the fact that it's 007. It has to be a guy. 007 is a designation. That's exactly what it is.
It's like a rank.
It's a rank. It's nothing more, nothing less. So this idea that it has to be a guy is foolish, especially when you go back and you look at Casino Royale in the beginning where they tell you exactly what it means to become a 00.
Thank you.
So, with that said, the idea that you couldn't do a Black Panther sequel without T'Challa being the focus of it or being physically in it is insane to me. And I thought it was foolish from the beginning that people were crying about recast T'Challa. I think a lot of that was fueled by the fact that they wanted to see repeat movies afterwards where he would have this adversarial relationship with Namor and all of this stuff. Well, this movie does not shy away from that there may be situations that happen down the line where Wakanda and Tolakan will be at odds. Because clearly there is that whole ending part where he's talking to Namora, when Namora is basically saying, well, I thought I'd be fighting by your side against everyone for the rest of our lives. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Namora basically explains to her she had every reason to kill me, but she didn't. She basically brokered what she thinks is a peace, right? Or a cooperation a ceasefire in case something happens in the future. You don't necessarily know if Namor plans on honoring that 100% if it doesn't benefit his people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's just this idea that you can't do these things unless it's T'Challa focus is nonsense. Shuri takes on the mantle of Black Panther in the comics. That is a known fact. Why people were sitting there arguing that we can't do this, we shouldn't do this, we should it's just nonsense. It's silly. You all were wrong. People went and saw the movie and they loved it. You all were wrong. That's it. I rest my case on this. You all were wrong. Period. And you all owe Coogler, Marvel, and everyone who was in this movie basically an apology.
Letitia Wright, your own apology for your. You go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Letitia Wright, Tenoch Huerta, Angela Bassett, Dominique Thorne. Like, they put on some memorable performances in this movie. And all y'all wanted to focus on the fact that you didn't hire another Black actor to play T'Challa. I guarantee you, whoever they brought in, if they decided to do it, and I applaud Disney for sticking by their guns and honoring someone who was able to bring this kind of character to the screen with the authenticity and the vigor that it had. I applaud them for honoring that, sticking by their guns and saying, no, this was our Black Panther, and we need now, in turn, to honor this man. And this is how we do it. Like, this idea that you want to bring a new person in and expect them to somehow do it the same, if not better, than Chadwick did it the first time, is just ludicrous. It's ludicrous. It just is. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Period.
That's very well said, brother. That's very well said. So furthermore, get in here.
Get in here.
Now that was the carrot. Matter of fact, that was carrot cake compared to what I'm going to give you.
Do it, brother.
I'm not going to be kind because
Do it, brother.
I don't like a lot of y'all to begin with.
Do it.
That's why. All right. So here's the thing. Now, Brian J. Lambert of Wingless Comics, shout out to him and Wingless Comics, made a post and he said, if you talk negatively about Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but you praised the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, that smacks of anti-blackness. And he's not wrong. I, of course, added, well, it's also misogynoir. Here's the thing, folks. Chadwick passed. Yes, it hurt. They didn't recast. Okay, cool, great. Why are y'all so mad? Oh, well, this is emasculation. So obviously you feel threatened. Then you need to take your insecure ass and go sit over in the corner while the rest of us are going to watch this amazing movie. You are so focused on a black male character leading this movie, no matter what, that you can't even fathom. You can't even like put together two thoughts because of your myopic vision and see all these different storytelling options by having a black woman led big ass budget, not just big budget, but big ass budget Disney MCU money type budget movie led by numerous black women and brown people. Even if you say, oh, well, it doesn't follow the comics, wrong. It does follow the comics. Shuri does become Black Panther a couple of times. So they follow it. And you were still mad. We got Shuri as Black Panther in a new suit. We got Ironheart, someone we didn't think that we were going to get, in two different suits. An introduction of this character who is going to do incredible, amazing things. I want to see that. We also got a brown Namora. All those storytelling options that we have out there with these characters and the story that we're going to tell in this movie. You still can only think of, we need to recast this male lead. You know, that smacks of a huge misogynoir, correct? It does, because you are so focused on it. And when I say something and they're like, oh, no, I'm not opposed to that. But what about the recasting? So you just proved what I was just saying. It's dumb.
Yes.
So I tell you what, you don't really get to analyze anything. Again, you sit over in the corner with the other dude who didn't wash his ass, and you sit over there and you let the grown folks talk about this. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion, of course, but think before you speak and listen to what you're saying. I choose my words carefully. I use them even more carefully. Because your words are important, because they pretty much are going to tell people what you're thinking. Even if you don't realize it, they're telling you. So you're going to say in that same sentence, oh, well, yeah, but no more. I'm like, yeah, I'm not thinking about it. I'm past that. That was like 2 years ago. I'm past that. I'm past that discussion. I didn't even have that discussion, matter of fact. I throw out, oh, this name, and that was it. I'm over here looking at, oh, man, we're getting Riri Williams. Shuri quite. And then there were talks about, oh, well, I don't know if Shuri can wear the suit. And I'm like, oh, why? Oh, well, she hasn't really been trained. And I'm like, well, let's look at it from a purely simplistic point of view. She could have been trained in the 5 years during the blip because, Wakanda was in shambles. But then you think about this. Wakanda is basically a warrior kingdom. It is. The figurehead is a warrior. The royal family are warriors. The greatest weapon there is not vibranium. It's the Dora Milaje. Notice when Queen Ramonda and Shuri were sitting there, they heard that noise. What did Queen Ramonda do?
Grab that spear.
She was ready. She was on
point. Ready to go. Yeah. Along with Shuri.
So look at it like this. Again, this is a warrior nation. Shuri's been trained. She just chooses to be in the lab. But even in the lab, she's creating weapons. You can't create weapons if you're not familiar with how to use a weapon. It's like, you just don't, because you have to know the science behind it and the mechanics behind it. So Shuri even gave those discs that she had. Like Shuri built those for Nakia. Even the blasters that she had were incorporated into the new Black Panther suit that she wore. She's been trained just like her brother was trained, just like her mother was trained, just like they trained, because there was a time. We're not talking about the English monarchy, because they're a little they're like that, strip their own cousins. So just like Alabama. So you have to think of, in case something happens, they have to be ready to fight. They have to be ready for war. They also have to quite possibly be a part of the challenge today for the mantle. So they have to be ready. There's a scene when Black Panther, when M'Baku is talking about a child who scoffs at tradition. Some people say that when the Dora Milaje step up, they're not protecting Shuri from M'Baku. They're keeping her at bay because they know what she can do to M'Baku. Because think about this. King T'Chaka, did he have the heart-shaped herb in himself when he had a child with Ramonda? I think the royal family automatically has a little bit of extra strength because of that.
Right.
So your opinion smacks of so much wrong, and yet you sit there upon your throne of lies and deceit and ignorance as well. Tell me, what makes you think that you can keep your dumbass opinion off of Facebook and away from the warrior king?
Exactly.
It's not how it works, folks. When you look at a story, look at it. Look at how different things can play out. I saw these characters. I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm kind of excited. I'm going to see this armor. We're going to see somebody take over the armored position, quote unquote, and it's not going to be Parker in the MCU proper, let's say. Because we kept saying, oh, Parker's going to be the next Spider-Man. No, Parker doesn't. In the comics, Shuri ends up becoming that next armored hero. And genius level, who built her suit out of like parts and ends that she found in this scrapyard. So what is she going to do when she gets a proper lab and is able to go all out? You're not excited about that? Yeah. We talked about that recasting 2 years ago. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about the news that we got. What's going to happen with Namor? Look at his backstory. Look at how it's changed from the comics. This is different. This is huge. This is awesome. Well, no, I want to keep talking about that. So what you're saying smacks of misogyny noir. Over and over again, it smacks of it. It's repeatedly smacks of it. And y'all really thought, oh, well, they got to recast. No, they don't. They don't have to do shit.
No.
They ain't got to do nothing.
No.
They ain't got to do nothing but make that money. And you know what? For all of you who thought that it wouldn't be cool, that movie was ridiculous. And it's so great. And it made so much money. It was a big budget movie, made a lot of money, and it was led by Black women. Run that. Meanwhile, you can't even fathom the idea of a big budget movie being led by Black women, making a lot of money and changing the entire trajectory of the MCU. But what do I know? Oh, that's right. I know that you're wrong. That's what it is.
Yes.
That thing that you're smelling, that's me being the arrogant ass that I can be when I know that I've got you.
Yeah.
You didn't think about that because you can't, because you can only see your penis in something. When I read a comic, when I choose a movie or something like that, more so with comics, people ask me how I pick out comics. I tell them, oh, well, there's this, that, what have you, creative teams that are on it, the story, the art, the company, what have you. Here's another thing that I choose, that helps me to choose, I should say. I choose comics that have lead characters, protagonists, that I identify differently than. I am a black, cisgendered, hetero man. My pronouns are he, him, they, and them as well. So I look for comics that have queer leads. I look for comics that have female leads. I look for comics that have characters that I identify differently than, aside from white, because Lord knows there's enough white-led comics out there. Let's be honest. I also look at the creative teams as well, and I want to see creative teams of people that I identify differently than. I want to see people who are marginalized and subjugated. I want to see them win, not just black men, but I want to see other marginalized, subjugated groups win in the comics. I want to see them to be the hero. I want them to find love. I want them to slay the demon. I want them to have a great day, whatever it is. I want them to get over the conflict that they're getting through or that they're pushing through, whatever it is. So I look for projects like that because that makes me feel good. I love that because I want to see them win. I wanted to see Shuri win so badly. I wanted to see the Dora Milaje wreck shop. I wanted to see Namor just go through like military, like tanks, everything, what have you. I wanted to see that final conflict between Namor and Black Panther. I wanted to see these things because even in that conflict, I'm winning because I'm seeing a black woman and a brown man as leads in this movie. Big budget movie. That's also, let's think about this as well, folks. Maybe half the movie was not in English. Oh, but I don't like subtitles. So you understood what they were saying? Word?
The word.
Word, my G. Word. Word, Poppy.
You good, Poppy? You good? You good, my guy?
Nah. And Joy even said that it was the language, that it was oh my goodness.
Mayan?
Yes. Yes. So half that movie wasn't even in English. Yeah. Let's say 1/3. It was English, Wakandan, and Mayan. Let's say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Word. So on numerous levels, I can tell you why you're a piece of shit. I can make up a mathematical equation, and math was not my forte.
Yeah.
Man. And I'm not going to go through all this. I'm not going to go through this anymore because I'm not being paid for it. You want me to run through this? You want me to really go into this? Pay me. Pay me because I'm good at this. I'm actually quite good at this. I'm better than most people who actually have shows. I'm going to be honest with you.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Because you're not going to get a big dissertation from me on social media. Well, I hate social media to begin with. And yeah. So instead of you being able to praise black women and being able to support this movie, go, yo, this show is this is awesome. This is all great. But then again, a lot of y'all don't support black women unless it's someone that you can have sex with. A lot of you only support black women that you're not attracted to. I've seen what you write on posts and everything. I've seen how you react to when you do see what someone looks like as far as being a creative. You ain't slick. I peep you. I peep how y'all support. It's fun. And they peep it too. Black women definitely notice it. Believe me, I've had conversations with black women who have noticed it. But y'all can't support that unless the character is secondary, is used as an accessory, a plot device, or is someone that you really find attractive. Now, yes, I did make jokes about that thing was thangin' because it caught me way off guard. I was like, where did that come from? Why did that? But she killed the role.
Yeah.
She bodied it.
Yeah.
Even though she wasn't in a huge chunk of it, you realize why she's not in a huge chunk of it. Not just because she's in Haiti, but there's other reason.
Yeah.
So I peep all that. Yeah. Yeah, I see you over there. Yeah. You ain't slick.
This is why we can't have nice things, people.
Oh, I got nice things.
Oh well, yeah, you do. Nice mug, brother. But I mean,
They can't have nice things
yeah,
because they don't
yeah,
know how to join the incredible things that are in front of them.
yeah. That's what I mean. This is why the fandom, not fandom initiative, the fandom, separate from us, cannot have nice things.
Because sometimes the fandom is dumb.
Dumb, precisely. And honestly, Marvel, Disney, however you want to address it, could easily have said, we're not going to make a sequel. They easily could have just done that.
Mm-hmm. They could have just had him die off screen,
pretty much,
in another movie, and it would have been just a footnote, like, well, since we've lost the Black Panther, we don't have any leverage in that area, or what have. They could have did something like that.
Pretty much.
They know that would have been a dumb move.
I'm telling you, I've never in my life of loving things in this fandom the way that I have seen a studio go out of its way to honor someone the way they've honored Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
This just it doesn't happen, folks. Usually it's we'll donate money to a charity of his choice.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say a couple of lines about him in a special. This is unheard of. Like you don't see studios doing this. Like they don't make a 2-hour and 41-minute movie where they allow all the people that he touched in front of the screen and behind the screen in the audience to kind of have this cathartic release about who he was to them, to all of them. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't.
Mm-hmm. That's icon status.
You know? And this idea that you again, I agree completely with what Antonio just said. This idea that you can't allow Black women to show you what they are about, Black girl magic, and carry this film as part of, not only bringing it to fans who love Black Panther, but in some ways themselves to honor Chadwick and the things that, he was able to do for them in the first movie and help them out with and be friends to them the way that he is. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This idea that it's almost like you don't even want the tribute. You just want to pass over Chadwick and move on and say someone else can come in here. What?
And I heard all types of things. Some people said, well, because we have variants, let's bring in a variant from another universe. I've heard that. I've heard so many different things. And I'm like, you'll go to a different universe before you will want this movie to be led by Black women.
Exactly.
You're telling on yourself, but you don't realize it. But Continue, please. But continue to just say stuff that is totally, because the movie can't survive. The movie will bomb or something like that. Like, is that what you think? So you're also saying that you have no faith in Black women to lead this movie, to lead a big budget Marvel movie.
Keep
talking, because you're just saying all the wrong things. I'm loving. Go on, Big Daddy. Go on, Big Daddy. Keep talking that shit. Go on.
Pretty much. It's crazy. It's just it's crazy.
And this is why I'm not on social media a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I don't have this big time discussions and stuff. When I see threads that are over 100 comments and I'm looking at what the post is, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. Like,
you're not paying me, so I'm not going to do it. I don't care.
I look at some of the things that people say, and it's just like, what? Like, this is why I can't do it anymore. Like, I don't listen to anybody who's overly critical of shows anymore. Because it's like, no. Like, you just didn't get it. You didn't get it then. It's not for you. You don't.
Well,
You just
it's
didn't
not
get it.
even it's not even the fact that you didn't get it. You don't like it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Because
Yeah.
you can get something and not like it.
Oh well, yeah.
You know
I
what I
agree
mean?
with that. I agree
Which
with that. I
is
agree with that.
for some reason people can't comprehend that those two things can
Yeah.
actually happen. Okay, you didn't get it. That's cool. Fine. What have you? And I don't mind people, having actually healthy debates
Mm-hmm.
and actually like voicing their opinions like adults.
Mm-hmm.
But social media, no, I don't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You can have all the diatribes you want and whatever. That's cool. What have you? That's fine. I just don't care. Matter of fact, I'm actually getting hungry now. So that's right.
That pie calling you from another room still?
That pie is calling, and I got some almond breeze eggnog.
Oh, buddy, he ready.
So is my pillow. I'm not the couch. The couch is gonna be my home for the night because I'm not gonna last. I'm gonna be like, this some good. What? Who's knocking on the door?
Yeah.
Who got bean pie? What is it? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know what? If you didn't like it, cool, what have you? And then it's like, oh, this is the worst piece of trash I've really. Seriously? Mm-hmm. Have you seen Leonard Part 6? That's the worst piece of trash you've seen. Seriously? Did you see Indiana Jones and whatever the hell that alien skull movie is? Really? That's the worst piece of trash you've seen?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen the FP? Really? That's the worst piece of trash you've seen? You must have lived a very charmed life, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you'll go, whatever, I don't care. I don't care, man. They're making my penis soft. I don't care, whatever.
Yeah. Folks, Black Panther Wakanda Forever is worth your time seeing it. Don't let these false Facebook pundits try and tell you that it's not worth your time. It is worth your time. It is completely.
See it for yourself. If you enjoyed the first movie and you want to see, even if you're not really familiar and you want to see how they carry on without him, watch the movie.
Yes.
Even if you're like, oh, I wonder how they're going to carry on the story without T'Challa. Watch the movie because they do it in a very wonderful way.
Yes.
If you haven't watched the movie and you've listened to us speak about it, I apologize that we spoiled it. We said we were going to spoil it in the beginning. I think it's very odd that you watched this and you haven't seen the movie. I appreciate you watching, though. I mean, I really do. Thank you. Very odd thing, but I mean, I guess you watched it because we cute. Thank you. I guess I don't know how to really respond to that, but I appreciate you. I mean, you wanted to see me just look arrogant. Like, look, I should have looked like a mix of Malcolm X and Namor right now. I'm just like, and putting some Magneto. I'm sitting here like, I will kill all of you. All of you Homo sapiens. Homo superior is it. I will kill you. All right, just wait. I got you all wearing something metal. I can crush you from a mile away. Just wait. But I mean, thank you. I totally appreciate it.
Yeah.
Very weird thing, but cool, whatever. I don't know. However you get your kicks, we're gonna do an OnlyFans next week. Cool. We're gonna do analyze stuff and reviews half naked, but we're not gonna tell you which half.
Exactly.
Wow.
Oh my
god. Whatever. Enjoy the movie.
Yes.
If you have thoughts, please leave them in the comments. Leave them anything. Joy Infinity has been lighting everything up. She's had the comment, black women were all over this movie. Yes, they were. Yes, they were.
Absolutely.
She does not trust people who don't like subs. Look, if you sat there and watched this movie, look, here's the thing too. You sat here and watched this movie. You know what was another big movie that had subtitles that people loved and nobody said, oh, I don't like movies with subtitles. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I didn't know it was subtitled when I went to watch it. I was like, oh. I had one dude in the theater was like, he literally said, what? I ain't come here to read. I said, God damn it, man. No, I'm not joking. He said he stood up in the theater. We could see him in the screen, whatever. He said, what? Yeah. I ain't come here to read. This is bullshit. And he left. I was like,
well, along with Crouching Tiger, I'll throw out another movie that absolutely nobody had an issue reading subtitles for, and they loved it. Sat there and were patient and read it and enjoyed that hell out of that movie, and that's Parasite.
Yeah. So y'all coming up with this mess? I don't.
Exactly.
Y'all want to watch what y'all want to watch.
Exactly.
That's what it is. And some things make you mad. Okay, I get it. If you can actually talk about these things in a logical, sensible way, okay, cool. But if you only have this myopic view and you can't see anything else, I go, yeah, sure, man. The sky's green. Yep. Yep. Every blade of grass is cheese. Yeah, all right, man. Whatever you say. Because again, I'm not being paid for it. I don't care what you're saying anymore because you're completely off my list of people that I would conversate with about something intelligently with.
That's it, brother. That's it.
You know, I have more gray hairs than you have good opinions. Yeah, I'm done. So I'm done.
I hear you, bro.
I'm gonna just sit here looking sexy while y'all just keep saying dumb stuff. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm getting hungry. I need this pie.
Yeah. Yes, he needs this pie. So, any final words, brother, before we jet out of here, so you can have that almond breeze on the rock,
it, brother. And that sweet potato pie. How much to make these white pies? All right, yeah, I'm not gonna do that line. I'm not gonna do that line. Look, folks, enjoy what you enjoy. Have healthy debates. If it gets crazy, just leave. Pull out of the conversation, the post, what have you, and go do something else. Take a breath. Unless you're being paid, then do your thing. Run it. If you're not being paid and it's whatever, don't do it. Some of y'all are just doing it. I understand that y'all want healthy debate. Y'all are also looking for engagement for your whatever you're doing. I get it, but look, not all your skin folk are your kinfolk. Can you dig it? That's the sad part. Also wash your ass thoroughly. Let the water get between your butt cheeks. I'm tired of y'all walking around stinking.
And I'm gonna steal one from this brother. Get that body butter out. It's wintertime soon. It's wintertime soon.
Get that shea butter. Switch it up. Get that shea butter. Get that heavy formula. Get that
Black Friday body shop special.
Bro, you have no idea. I'm about to hit that. I'm about to hit that damn website. Run me my body butter. My ass is chapped. Like I'm talking about scoop it in there, and it just like scoop it up like literally like butter, like you about to make some grilled cheese and just slap it on there, man. Rub it in until it's in your DNA. Royalty got royalty inside my DNA. Run it until your shea butter royalty.
Until our DNA's in that heart-shaped herb.
For real. Get drink it if you need to. I don't care. Do whatever you got to do. Walk around here, your ass stinking you and you ashy. Pick a struggle. It's ridiculous. Ashy, your ass stink, and you got real dumbass opinions. Stop it. They're making my toes itch, man. It's ridiculous. Like athlete's foot. Shit don't make no sense. Look, hey, do the best you can with what you got, because that's all that you get. Honestly, that's it, folks. But no, seriously, wash your ass. Let the water get it in between your butt cheeks. Lather up. Seriously, you're just letting and wash your legs. Do white people really not wash their legs? What is that? Seriously, I always want to know if that's just a myth. Are you serious? Oh, the soap just runs down.
Oh my god,
gross. Wash your ass. Wash your legs. So your feet that you have out all the time, because y'all know y'all love your feet out, and you're not washing your toes, nothing like that. You letting the dirty water suds wash down your body, then run through your feet, and that's you washing? Tell me that's some mess that they made up for TV, please. Oh my god, nasty.
Oh my
wash
god.
your get in the let that soap get in between cheeks, man.
Oh my god.
Wash that chocolate cheese. I don't even care no more, man. I'm giving you tips, hygiene tips. Wash your ass. And behind your ears too, but really wash your ass.
With that, folks, thanks for joining us for this special edition.
We were still on? Oh, I thought we cut like 10 minutes ago. My fault.
Thanks for joining us for the special edition of Fandom Initiative. I would like to say, like they say, the end of every Marvel movie, the Fandom Initiative will be back soon.
Yes.
Yes.
As long as y'all wash your ass.
Yes, the Fandom Initiative will return. So, for me, Michael Williams, and for this brother, about to go house that pie and that almond breeze.
I'm about to come off the top rope like Macho Man. Yeah. Yes, the cream rises to the top. Yeah. Sweet potato pie. Yeah.
And thanks to Joyfinity for being in the chat. We miss
Thank
you
you
too. We will see you around these parts very soon. You want to shake us out, brother?
Man, may the force be with you. I don't even know. Me and the little Kim.